The 2024 Paris Olympics are just around the corner, and Team USA 3-on-3 assistant coach and head coach at the University of Rhode Island, Tammi Reiss, is here to chat all about her road to the Olympics, the quartet of players suiting up for Team USA in 3-on-3, what to expect from her Rhode Island Rams this season, and more. Locked On Women's Basketball starts now.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and happy Thursday. You are locked on to women's basketball. I'm Natalie Heavren, and I'm a features writer and the Atlantic 10 beat reporter for The Next. Thanks for making Locked On Women's Basketball your first listen every day. And remember, Locked On Women's Basketball is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. If this is your first time listening to Locked On Women's Basketball, welcome. We at The Next have over 100 reported pieces every single month. We have a beat reporter on every single WNBA team, one on more than 15 different NCAA beats, so get that YouTube subscription up. And you can also support us by subscribing to The Next for $9 a month, $72 a year at thenexthoops.com. Tammi Reiss is here to chat all about her road to the Olympics, the quartet of players suiting up for Team USA in 3-on-3, what to expect from her Rhode Island Rams this season, and more. Joining me today is Tammi Reiss, Team USA 3-on-3 assistant coach and head coach of the University of Rhode Island. Okay, so starting off, what does it mean to you to be heading to the Olympics as part of Team USA?
You know, I'd have to say, being able to go to the Olympics in Paris 2024, this has been a lifelong dream. Ever since I was in the sixth grade, I had a goal list of 150 hopes and dreams. And being able to represent Team USA and go for the gold was top three on my list. And so it's taken 54 years, but it's finally here. So it's the ultimate. As an athlete, as a coach, this is the ultimate dream. So for me, it's everything.
And then, what are you most looking forward to in Paris on and off the court?
I think for me, it's being around the best in the world, competing on the world stage and seeing some of the best in every sport to do it, not just basketball. I'm really a big fan of track and field, swimming, gymnastics. There's so many sports that I love that some of my favorite athletes, Katie Ledecky, Sha'Carri Richardson, Sydney McLaughlin, Simone Biles. So to be able to see them up close and personal, that's pretty special. Besides playing against the best in the world in basketball, that's your goal. And so that's what I think. It won't hit me till I'm there, opening ceremonies, to really get the feel. I'm in prep mode right now. So everything is scouts, preparing offense, how we're going to defend. So I don't think it'll hit me till I'm actually there. But I literally watch the qualifiers in every sport that I could on TV. And so I'm going to really enjoy it, and I'm going to soak it all in, every aspect of the Olympics, besides first and foremost going for gold.
And so you'll be able to watch those other sports. You'll be able to take some time away from the court and get to those other sports.
Our head coach, Jen Rizzotti, she's pretty good. She's been doing USA basketball and 5-on-5, the whole experience for years. And she told the girls the one thing: when we practice and we play and we're in it, we go hard. And then when it's time off the court, really enjoy the experience, because you don't get this very often. You don't. And so she's good about the balance. Again, you have to have a balance. And this is a once in a lifetime experience. So yes, as many as we can catch within our schedule, she'll allow us to do.
And then I'm not sure if you've been to France before, but are there any French foods that you're looking forward to as well?
Doing 3x3 basketball for 2 years now, I've been in every country. And I've been to France multiple times, although never to the city of Paris. It's always smaller cities. Their food is and wine is incredible. So for me, the butter is just better. So croissants and baguettes and just everything is just more authentic. And I'm a foodie, so anything I eat over there, I cherish. And then of course the wine is absolutely amazing. And so no, I go over there and I look forward to everything from their coffee to their baguettes to their croissants to their wine. So I will enjoy it.
And taking a step back, how did you get involved with 3-on-3 coaching, and what was your journey to the Olympics like?
Well, I had always wanted to be a part of USA basketball, and it's hard to get involved because 5-on-5 court coaches, it doesn't matter, 3-on-3, you needed to be a head coach for 5-on-5. And so I was never a head coach until the past 5 years. But Jen Rizzotti had given me a call. We have mutual people we know. And 2 years ago in Springfield was the training camp they had. And she said, "Hey, Tammi, you want to come up and assist me in running this 3x3? I'm going to be the head coach." And I said, "I'd love to." And that's how I got involved. And then every summer since, I've dedicated my summer to whether it's the women's series, whether it's U23 Nations League or U21, just coaching and gaining as much experience in this sport and getting in the pipeline. And then I got the call from USA Basketball, Jay Dennings and Jen, that they asked me to be the assistant coach for the Olympics. And so it's 2 long years of paying your dues, but that's what it takes. And really learning the sport, it is very different than 5-on-5. So that I was just blessed that USA Basketball trusted me enough and that Jen Rizzotti liked working with me and thought I did a good job. So that's kind of my pathway to 3x3.
And you've coached against Jen Rizzotti, who's the head coach, when she was a college player, WNBA player, and as a coach when she was at GW. How has your relationship with her developed over the years to now where you are now?
Well, I've always greatly respected Jen. First and foremost, as a player, I always say she was the toughest guard that I've ever seen play the game. She played the game the way it was supposed to play. She competed, man. Anyone who wears knee pads, is going to be a fierce competitor. And then as a coach. And so just being in the same circles for the past 20, 30 years, you get to know people. But off the court, I just love her. She has a great balance of life. She has a family. She gets it. And, I've always respected her, and now getting to work side by side with her, seeing how she works, her basketball mind. But again, how fierce of a competitor she is. I thought I was intense when we're playing and coaching, and Jen's on a whole nother level. And I really appreciate it. And she loves winning. She's done a lot of it. And so I thought she was the perfect head coach after Kara Lawson moved to 5-on-5 to be named the 3x3 coach. And she's done a wonderful job. And so, again, I'm blessed. I love working side by side with her. I think we play off each other very well. And I greatly respect her. And so I'm looking forward to it.
And what's your favorite part of the whole 3-on-3 experience been?
I think the actual venue, and again, we don't play inside. Most of the time we don't play inside. So unless it's weather induced, we're outside venues, music blasting, the sun, food trucks. It's like an event, outdoor TVs, kids got their own courts playing. Literally, it reminds me of pickup when I was growing up, going to the park and just hooping all day. And the men and the women, we play together. And so one session's the men, then the women, then the men. And you become this family. We travel together. It's very, very tight knit. Although you're fierce competitors, after every tournament, there's a party. You all go to the party together. It's that vibe, and it's so much fun, so much fun. And so I tell all the girls, if it's really get interested in it, go see if you enjoy it. Not many kids hoop outside anymore, and so it's a vibe, and I love it. I love it. So it's just different, and you got to enjoy the game. It's very pure, very fast, very quick, and you can't hide. You can't hide. There's no help defense. You got to be able to guard. You got to be able to score, and you better be tough because it's like rugby out there. They let you play. It could be 110 out and you're hooping on the asphalt. And that's the other thing I love about it. These girls and the guys, they're really, really tough. And so different game. You got to enjoy that. You got to love that. And I do. It fits my personality. It fits me perfect.
Coming up next, we'll continue talking about the upcoming 2024 Paris Games, if Tammi thinks she would have played 3-on-3 when she was a player, and more. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. There is nothing better than going to an MLB game during the summer, and I can't wait to keep making those memories this summer too. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. I have always wanted to see a Yankees-Red Sox game, so I have my eyes on those tickets, but I also have a friend who is a huge Phillies fan, so I've been keeping my eyes on tickets to take her to a game as well. I love that you can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. Game Time also has last-minute deals where you can save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day? Have to turn down the volume with all that shouting? Make the switch to Locked On Sports Today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And for our listeners who aren't as familiar with 3-on-3, you're not coaching on the sidelines. Is it difficult to, be sitting on the sidelines when your players are playing on the court?
I have to tell you, the biggest kind of adjustment was how you prep. And I've carried this over to my team at Rhode Island, is really prepping the girls, the women, I should call them women, how to play the game, how to think the game. They call their own sets, their own plays. When coverage change, you can't call a timeout and say, hey, they're switching now. Let's run this. You teach them how to play the game. And that's all about preparation and planning your practices and how you teach the game. And so it's the biggest difference for me. And I've kind of tried to install that at Rhode Island, where I'm really teaching them the game. And I'm not making every decision for them, and time and score and game management and how much, those kind of things. And it's really taught me, I think, how to be a better coach, give my players more responsibility and trust them with that, and make them think the game, increase their IQ.
And going back to Paris, are you going to be able to attend the opening ceremonies? And if you are, what are you most looking forward to about that experience?
I'm not sure if we're going to get on the boats. The boats are taking them into the stadium. It's going to be quite a spectacle. I'm not sure if we're going to stay back and watch it, or we're actually going to attend and walk in, and all the logistics once we get there will be finalized. But, it's really up to the committee and how we're going to do that and how we're going to prep. So it's a long day, and the opening ceremonies are long and tedious. And so whether we're going to stay back at the Marriott, and watch it and just kind of prep, or we're going to actually go, that's yet to be decided.
And for our listeners who aren't as familiar with your Rhode Island program, you've had a lot of French players over your past 5 seasons there. Are you going to be able to see any former players, current players, or even players you're recruiting when you're in Paris?
It's funny. We have the French connection in Rhode Island. Currently, I think we just signed 3 more that we'll be announcing soon, but we have I think 7 French kids, young women on the team. And we have 7, 8, or 9 living over there playing in the pro leagues, besides our 20 some Americans that are over there. So believe you me, I've had all of them hit me up. Hey coach, can I get tickets? Can we get, because the sessions are sold out. The venue is incredible. we're kind of the X Games area where we've got breakdancing, skateboarding, BMX, all the kind of young, hip vibe, cool vibe sports. And it's hard to get a ticket. It's sold out. So all my players have hit me up, and I told my current players, if I have tickets, of course, I'm going to get you in. And all our other Frenchies over there that want to attend, they've all hit me up. So I'm going to try my best to get them in and let them have a little bit of that experience. Because again, it's once in a lifetime, and tickets are hard to come by over there. Really, really hard to come by.
What does each member of this year's Olympic 3-on-3 team bring to the team?
You know, it's funny because this is not the same World Cup team that we won in Vienna with last year. We won the World Cup. Obviously, the initial team was Cameron Brink, who just got hurt for the LA Sparks and tore ACL, Sierra Burdick, Haley Van Lith, and Ryan Howard. That was the initial team. And with Cam getting hurt, we just added her teammate, Dearica Hamby. Now, the difference by adding Ryan Howard and Dearica, two WNBA players, they have not played a lot with Haley and Sierra. And so the biggest thing with this team is going to be, in the short amount of time, we have like 2 weeks before the games start, is installing everything with them, getting chemistry, team chemistry. And then, really Jen's game plan is to, everyone's strengths is to design what we're running for them. And so let's break it down. Let's start with the old head. Let's start with I call her the auntie, the team captain. Sierra Burdick has been playing this game, and she's graduated from Tennessee a while back, and she's been a pro overseas for years now. But she has the most experience playing 3x3, 5, 6, 7 years. And she knows everything. So she's the coach on the floor, especially for Jen, when, C knows what they're doing, when to make adjustments, those things. So what Sierra brings the best is her leadership, her IQ, and experience. Next is the dog, Haley Van Lith. This girl, to play 3x3, we talked about toughness. We talked about that's Haley to a T. When we needed a hard-nosed guard that can fight over ball screens, that can get it done defensively, shut some guards down, and then also can take you and score. Off the bounce, shoot the two. That's Haley. And Haley's got a couple years experience now playing 3x3. She's won in the World Cup on the biggest stage at that point. Now, let's talk about Ryan Howard, one of the best 3-point shooters in WNBA, but we call it a two-pointer in 3x3. So we needed someone that big guard that could switch with posts, that could guard some posts and guards, but more importantly, can really stretch and shoot the two, and be able to put points on the board. And that's Ryan. Ryan is an offensive juggernaut. So we've got that with Ryan. And then lastly is that big post that can bang and guard. And that's Cameron's replacement is Dearica Hamby. So now D, obviously, she just made the WNBA All-Star team. So D can shoot the three. She can post up. She can guard multiple positions. And D is tough. And so she actually tried out for the Olympics. She was in the mix, the final 5 or 6 to make the team. And so, that's their strength. And you don't always just pick the best 4 and throw them together and think you're going to win the Olympics. They complement each other. Each one of them brings something that Jen was looking for. So when you put them together, they make a great team. Because what some of the other teams have on us, especially Canada, Germany, China, France, they've been playing together, the same 4, for years now. On the women's circuit, every other weekend for 4 or 5 years, they train together. They have chemistry and experience. It's the one thing they have over us. So we'll see. Can our USA talent, we're supposed to be the most talented in the world, does that make up for our lack of experience? And so we gotta form that bond, and we gotta get that chemistry very, very fast. But that's kind of the negative when you don't have 4 that have played the whole year together. You put them together for a couple weeks, and you go and you compete with some teams that they've been together for a couple years. There's a big difference.
And, switching more to you, do you think you would have played 3-on-3 if it was an option during your playing days?
Heck yeah, I would have played 3-on-3. I lived outside. I lived on the courts, under the lights. We'd dead of summer, didn't matter. Was never in the gym, only in the winter, in the elements. And even then I was outside on my court at home. You just hoop with the fellas, you go play pickup, music blaring, park, kids. It's again, it's that vibe. That's New York. That's what we grew up on. I love it. I love it. It's just unorthodox. It's different. You got to adjust. You put your finger up. All those old hoop heads that played outside with the chain nets, with the wind. Today, man, the wind's bumping. We got to get to the rim. Ain't no shooting any threes today. So you got to enjoy that vibe. And I think nowadays a lot of kids have trainers. They play with cones. They're inside doing skill work and need air conditioning. And I'm like, what happened to going to the park? And you can do your skill work, but then go hoop, go learn how to play the game, go all day, all night, under the lights. That's fun. And so for me, that was it. So I definitely play 3x3. I definitely, even as a pro on the women's circuit, you can tour and play in a different country every weekend, and you play for prize money. So there was a couple former A10 players, Sydney Taylor. We got her to play from UMass and then went to Louisville. Sid lights it up. Sid's a great 3x3 player. She was just with us over in Quebec and then went to Freiburg, Switzerland. So she played with C and Haley. Sid's going to be on the circuit. And I'm trying to recruit more and more. Mackenzie Smith from St. Joe's was just against us in Quebec. She played for the Canada team. So she's playing 3x3. So it's really cool to start to get maybe some more of our A10 players playing on the circuit and experiencing USA basketball now. And we're trying our hardest to recruit some of the top talent to come and play some 3x3. If they can't make the 5-on-5 team, come on and play 3x3. We have a lot of kids in the A10 I think would be really good at it.
Coming up next, Tammi talks about the upcoming season at Rhode Island, the Rams' upcoming trip to Cancun for the Cancun Challenge, what she's enjoyed watching this WNBA season, and more. Pivoting to the A10, what are some lessons that you've learned from last season, and how have you taken that with you as you've started to prepare for the 2024-2025 season?
I think last year was not the year we wanted. I'll say that. We had 22 wins. We had a great season, lost in the conference finals to Richmond. But it was a season of adversity. It really was. A lot of injuries, a lot of different things. Once we hit conference, that happened to our team. And, having to keep, for me, teaching in the process and not getting driven by just winning, and how to overcome injuries and really keep the kids focused and positive towards the end of the year when we got everyone healthy, that we could still make a run. And so what I learned, and we made a run, we did a great job at the end of the year in the conference tournament. So what I learned was, to really start preparing the team, not just grind every game throughout the season, but where we want to go at the end of the year and getting healthy and keeping the kids' legs and really competing for conference championships and postseason. I think I've always put such a premium on regular season that I lose sight of that sometimes. And so last year, really trying to stay positive through the adversity and really indulging in getting a new team together, a lot of different faces, and how long it takes. So you're peaking at the end of the year. So coming into this year, we have the same thing. We have a lot of new faces. We lost a lot, but I have the team on campus now in summer school, and I love the way they compete. I love the way they work hard. I don't have to beg any of them to get after it. They just show up and they work hard. And so they're a very fun group to coach. I love that about them. And of course, we still have a lot still overseas playing with their national teams, and they won't join us till September. But I like our pieces. And again, I'm really going to focus on getting us better each segment, preseason, non-conference, conference, and growing us and being patient with that, especially with our younger kids. And so last year, I think, prepared me for this year.
And what should people be looking out for next season from Rhody women's basketball?
Well, I think it'll be definitely a different team. So it's a different look. We have a lot of different type of players, and so we're definitely going to still try to play fast. And maybe, depending on, again, we won't install certain things until I know all the pieces we have. We have a couple that haven't gotten on campus yet. So, just that we're going to compete, we're going to play hard, play fast, and it will be a fun style of basketball. The one thing we did add this year was shooting. We've got some kids that we want to be able to spread the floor from the post position as well. So that is the one difference is we've got a couple more shooters than we had last year.
And, last week the teams participating in the Cancun Challenge were announced again. You'll be heading to Cancun around Thanksgiving. What excites you about that opportunity for your team?
Well, I think getting to travel with them and always going to a beautiful location. I love this tournament. We went with Syracuse a while back, and the kids loved it. Loved it. They have men's tournaments going on with women. They have multiple tournaments. They take care of the athletes. It's just a fun place, and it's a well-run tournament. And so I know what we're getting. We're getting 2 quality games, but also I'm really looking forward to playing Iowa. Really looking forward to some great competition and testing our team, seeing where they are early in the season and how they compete. Because the one thing Iowa does is compete. They make you play. And so it'll be a very, very good challenge for us to see where we are at that point in the season. But most of all, I just want to spend some time with the kids and let them enjoy the Hard Rock and the experience because it is fun. It's a great tournament.
And, pivoting to the WNBA, I know you've been busy, but have you been able to watch any of the WNBA season so far? And if so, what's been your favorite part to watch?
Have I love women's basketball. If you don't, you're a coach. It doesn't matter if you're busy or not. I'll be doing scouts for 3x3, and I got every game on my TV. Then we got the computer going because women's basketball has exploded, and we need to start supporting it in every way, shape, or form. All coaches across the board. If you're involved in girls basketball, grassroots, college, we need more girls watching the WNBA, more women and girls going to games and really growing this sport. So what I'm so excited about are the young bucks. Obviously, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, what they're doing right now as far as rookies. And then just my favorite players, Asia Wilson. It's just ridiculous. Stewie, Fee. These women, they're playing at such a high level. It's exciting. And so I'm actually tomorrow leaving first thing tomorrow morning. We're at the All-Star game in Phoenix, the WNBA All-Star game, until we leave with the 5-on-5 team. We'll charter over to London and then go over to Paris. But we've got exhibitions on All-Star weekend, playing against teams, playing against making appearances and just being a part of All-Star weekend is incredible in itself. So I'm excited to watch the All-Star game live. It's been a while and seeing some of the best in the world do it. My favorite player is funny. I was texting with Dawn today, Staley, and asked her, are you going to be there? And are you going to the Olympics? And, Asia Wilson is just, and all my post kids, everyone, you want to be a pro, you want to be the ultimate pro. This is who you watch. I can't wait to watch her up close and personal. I'm taking my team to a game at Connecticut Sun on September 8th, playing the Aces. We do it every year to support the WNBA, and Harvard was there last year. Ton of teams, UMass Lowell. All our coaches in the area, we go and support the Sun as much as we can. And so, that's growing the game. That's being a part of it and helping really put the WNBA on the map. It is an unbelievable product.
And then is there anything you're excited to see in the second half of the season, when you're recovering from your Olympic experience?
I really am, the playoff run. When it comes playoff time, how serious these teams get and just excited, really excited to see the compete with them and who's going to take the championship. I'm biased because I played for the Utah Stars in the WNBA, who then got sold to the San Antonio Silver Stars, who then got sold to the Las Vegas Aces. So that's my franchise. So I'm an alum. That's that's who I rock with. Although I'm partial to the Connecticut Sun. They've been really good to me, but the Aces they're my team. So I really support them, and also the Connecticut Sun here, and New York Liberty, because I'm from New York. So you got to support the Liberty. So just the playoff run, how competitive it is, and seeing if the Aces can three-peat.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a great summer, and go Rhody, and let's go Team USA.
And thanks to our listeners for making Locked On Women's Basketball your first listen every day. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels app. And make sure to tune in tomorrow to hear from the amazing Jackie Powell, and on Saturday to hear from our awesome WNBA draft crew.